Let's call on our starting lineup from our PGJC, the Sea Lions. Let's begin with their team captain, who wears jersey number 16, apprentice seaman Gregorio Dolor. At number 1, Joshua Umandal. Wearing jersey number 5, EJ Casanya. At number 15, Peter Hill. Wearing jersey number 18, apprentice seaman Joven de la Vega. Libero, Vince Lorenzo. Head coach, Petty Officer, 3rd Class, Cecil Cruz. Calling on our Philippine Army Troopers. Team captain wears jersey number 5, Sergeant Benjailo Labide. At number 2, Awi Abdulia. Wearing jersey number 9, Corporal Antonio Torres. At number 12, Private First Class, Patrick John Rojas. Number 14, Corporal Jaidal Abdulmajid. Number 21, Ray Taneo. Libero, number 10, Corporal John Kenneth Viking. Head coach, Sergeant Melvin Carolino. This is match number 10, preliminary round.
Time to get things going. Inside the Paco Arena, our second game for today. It will feature PGJC Navy Sea Lions going up, the Army Katingko Troopers. As we welcome you to the Paco Arena, Carlo Pamintuan and Miss Noreen go on the call. Should be a fun matchup with both teams wanting to rise and challenge for a spot in the top 4. As we said, only 7 teams seeing action here in our 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference. Only 4 teams will be making it into the semifinals. As the first serve will be courtesy of the setter of the Army Katingko Troopers in Ray Taneo. With the team desperate to get a win and with the notable and glaring different numbers between them and the Signal HD Spikers, how do you expect the Troopers to start in this matchup?
Well, actually, for both teams, no, and you can see the line of the first 6 pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to work on that, trying to build the chemistry. But their focus should be really per game. No, it's not really to chase Signal and the likes. It's more, this game, we're playing against this team. What's our game plan? How do we follow it? You know, that's their focus and strategy. That's going to be important.
As we take another look at this service ace coming from Taneo, 2-0 start for Army. Really good opening.
Yeah.
As you just try to push off the jitters, try to forget about the pressure of not having a win yet, and build some confidence at the start. It is 3-0 to start this matchup. What's noticeable for me at least was nung una they were playing itong si Daniel Diwa as their middle blocker, but they were getting more coming from Awi Abdullah, and maybe that was the reason why he gets a start in this matchup.
Yeah, and actually, what's nice about this level of competition, really, it's per game. You know, somebody plays well, and the coach thinks he's good for it's good chemistry. He builds good chemistry. That's what he'll do. He'll change things up. That's what coaches do, actually.
Taneo still serving. That attack coming from Peter Kiel gives the Navy Sea Lions their first point of the matchup.
Well, pretty strong start for Army here, 4-1. Great pass. Peter Kiel just gets it through.
Offense really looking good for the squad of the Troopers as their team captain, Benjailo Labide, getting his first point of the matchup. They lead 5-1.
You know, the way they're playing, it doesn't seem like they have no wins,
Yep.
right? They seem so comfortable and very strong here. Great start for them.
And we have to be kind to all of our teams because we did not have a Spikers Turf tournament since 2019.
That's right.
So the first couple of games, maybe they'll need it to get their bearings back, to get the confidence going, to get their conditioning going. But the competition and the performances will only elevate as we move forward with the Open Conference.
Yeah, I totally agree because a lot of these teams didn't have a lot of time to prepare. I remember in some of the interviews, VNS was saying they had a very short period to prepare. So we expect that, you know. But the games will come, you know, better rallies. All these teams will get better, like you said, in time.
The Army Troopers playing loose, playing confident. And as a result, now lead by 4 points, 6-2. Of this outstanding start in the first set.
Yeah, we did mention in the pregame in that losing match against Signal, Army had no blocks.
Yep.
It's not something that they have to improve on, and they're looking good. They had already a stuffed block here in the first set.
They get a touch on the block, but it goes wide as Navy answers back with a point. Greg Dolor, the team captain, preparing to serve for the Sea Lions.
Yeah, just a great set by Casania going to De La Vega there. Well, that's a common connection for Navy.
Another one-handed set. That's the second of this first set for Ateneo.
Oh, wow. And look at the way that they eluded, Abdullah eluded the net. Look at this. Like he was near, oh, you can't see it, but he like totally tried to balance himself and he got the point.
Oh, he was spoiled for that
Yeah,
hit.
exactly. Pays to be fit and thin.
I have no prior experience on it. 8-3 as we get into our first technical timeout of the opening set. How about this? The Army Troopers lead by 5.
are for them, given that this will determine the possibility of them entering the semifinals. And for their game today, Benjailo emphasized how they studied the movement of Navy and the importance to activate their middles in order to stop the power of Navy's strong wing spikers, especially Joshua Umandal and Joven De La Vega. More than that, kailangan daw nilang isabay ang pukpukan ng bola at galingan ng reception para makabawi from last game's performance. Let's go back to set 1.
Oh, Miss Alexis, everything that you said is basically what's happening right now for the Army Troopers as they are playing so well at the start of this matchup, 9-3 after that drop, after that second ball scores for Ateneo.
Yeah, and I like the way Coach Melvin Carolino actually was encouraging or has been encouraging his team, you know, from the sidelines. He's continuously clapping and, you know, just celebrating with his team.
Staying positive, that's the key for the Army Troopers. That's how you get over the slump, get over the pain of losing your first 2 games.
But you're actually, you know, right now, it's like what's going through our minds is, did that loss to Santa Elena affect them, you know, psychologically, talking about Navy? Because that seems the way here in the first set.
Army Troopers also lost to Santa Elena NU. They actually picked up the first set of that matchup, lost the next 3. As it is 10-4 right now, De La Vega serving for the Navy, rather. And that running attack, rocket coming from Rosales.
Yeah, they call it check ball at that. What a set there. He saw that. Out of position, but still able to get that.
Casanya has been tremendous in the early goings of our Spikers Turf Open Conference. Another good serve from De La Vega, but that quick works out.
That connection, you know, Abdullah is really having a field day here, and why not? You should go to that more.
Only a single blocker is available to try and stop him, not enough. As Rojas now serves.
Oh, great serve.
Here we go. Things are heating up, Marine.
So now you're liking the matchup between Rosales and Abdullah.
In the first game nitong Army, they went largely to Rojas to try and generate their offense. Nung nabantayan, no one else could step up and score consecutively. That made it very difficult for them to stay in that matchup. Meanwhile, there is error on the other side. That's a double contact.
Well, as you're saying that, I think they were able to address that problem.
Yeah.
You know, other people connecting or contributing here for Army, which is pretty much the reason why they're ahead by 6.
They're getting points from, of course, from Labide. They got some from Torres already. Abdullah has been good. Well, this is about to pick up. You know that business is about to pick up here in the first set, as Navy is now heating up, trying to get back into this matchup. Still down by 5, though, 12-7.
That was a beautiful hit from the pipe. But you're right, business is about to start. Customers slow to arrive here, but for Navy, better late than never.
They go back to Labide. Blockers are there, sent up by the libero. And that will score. How about that? Ray Tane with 2 points here in the first set.
Well, it goes to show really how prepared Army is. Everybody is just so focused. Look at that. He'll get into the scoring act.
Philippine Navy also not helping themselves with all these errors, Noreen.
Yep, 6 for them and 0 for Army. 0! I mean, they're 13 and they have yet to commit an error. Wow, I mean, that goes to show what kind of game they're playing here so far.
They're committed. They want their first win. And syempre, pag armed forces versus armed forces, nagkikita-kita madalas yung mga yan. Naglalaban yan madalas. It elevates the game even more, di ba? The familiarity between these two teams.
And the underlying stuff there. Because we know the Army, Navy, all these, that tournament that they have is yearly. I mean, I'm not sure pandemic, but and it for so long, for so many years, decades of that. So you're right. I mean, I'm sure they know each other.
And usually, it is the Philippine Air Force dominating here in the volleyball competitions. They're not here, so that opens the door for the Navy and the Army. The problem for Navy is, yes, magaganda yung atake nila, but in terms of getting consecutive points, they haven't picked it up yet. And that is the reason why the Army troopers are staying ahead here in this first set.
Oh, you're totally right. I mean, it's obviously consistency. Again, like you said, not unable to score consecutively because of these errors. But again, we also have to give it to Army. I mean, they're really playing well and they're really working hard for their points.
Tonix Torres now serving for the yellow and green of the Philippine Army Katingko troopers. Na sana magpasample naman ng Katingko dyan paminsan-minsan.
Don't tell me. Kailangan mo.
It never hurts. Rojas is sending it to the other side. A little wide. Good idea. It's a little too strong.
Yeah, but they have to be careful I mean, they have a comfortable lead here at 5 points, but you have to be careful with these errors. You want like that. I mean, you're right. You had the right thing in mind. But you want Navy to be earning their points, working for their points, and you're not giving it for free.
Especially how the Army have kept it clean
Right,
at the
right.
start of this set. Ooh, that was well read. And di rin nag-commit masyado si Abdullah, no? I don't think they were 100% sure that was where it was going.
Well, you have to give credit to the blocking
Sure.
of Navy.
They forced Abdullah to change his mind midair.
Yeah. Now look at the front row right now of Navy. Perfect rotation for them to chase.
And that will lead us to our second technical timeout. There have been little conversations here and there between the players on the floor. Philippine Army.
The Lions team captain Greg Delor with 19 points last game against NU Santa Elena shared to me one of their main strategies in recuperating after a 5-set loss. For the past days, they've been exercising situational games kung saan 6-6 sila naglalaro at nagsisimula sa 20 agad yung score. Ika ni Greg, dito ine-ensayo nila kung paano nila mahahandle ang pressure ng match point at paano nila masasarado yung game. This is where we see that it's not only the skills that are the variables of victory, kundi ang willingness at diskarte ng teams makabuo ng endgame. Let's go back to set 1.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Alexis Tinsay. Greg Dolor did not start in their first match. Maybe it was a ploy from Coach Cecil to just test out their new players. Diba? Masukat agad kung ano yung pwedeng ibigay sa koponan. But now it's clear that for the best team possible for Navy, Greg needs to play and play a lot.
Ooh. Look at the stare down at the net. It adds color to this game, really. But you know, when I saw the stats sheet and I knew Greg Delor did play the first set, I actually thought he was injured or something, but he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Right? Yeah.
He just didn't play.
Yeah. Great serve.
And that will lead to another point as the jeering continues coming from the Army troopers, of course, enjoying themselves because they did not pick up a single set in their last game against Signal. They are hungry for one to start things off.
And they're at the right position right now because they're playing well. You know, they're enjoying, they're taunting. So, you know, they have that confidence in them.
Yung narinig naman natin sa kabila, di ba? Sabi niya, pag nalamangan naman natin sila, tatahimik yan. Sabi ng Navy. As we're sharing with you some of the things, some of the very interesting that we hear here on the floor. And, you know, if you're a fan of men's volleyball, we really want to invite you to join us here in the Paco Arena. It's a different animal altogether when you see it live.
For sure. You know, it's nice to watch the comforts of your own room.
Yeah, sure.
Or your own home. But it's really different, you're right. And if you watch it live, you get sound pa lang.
Yung tunog pa lang ng mga patay na bola.
Right? The contact, I mean, that's precious.
Another one-handed set. How is he doing this? Ray Taneo has had a spectacular first set.
Well, look at him. His arms, like, I don't know, I can't do anything wrong.
That's the Michael Jordan celebration.
Right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Don't ask me. I just do it. Ooh. That's a running hit.
I think both teams will be asked to calm down a little bit at this stage as our lead official calls both team captains, Greg Dolor and Benjailo Labide. Umiinit ang aksyon. Let's keep it clean as both those players smile it off.
No. The first referee's gonna say, take it outside. Where? In the field or in the waters?
Kanino home court?
Oh, exactly. Tapos puro mga fleets na kita.
19-14. This has been the theme, no? Naunahan ng Army yung Navy and they've led throughout. They go back to Labide and he delivers once again.
Boy, everybody really responding to the challenge right now of Coach Carolino. And that's one player I feel, although he has, I think, 2 points, is one player who has to step up here. They're not out of it. They're just down by 6. But if Navy wants to pull a win here in the first set, Umandal has got to work.
But they'll have to start off with whoever is out front. And in this particular situation, it is Greg Dolor who delivers that point. Still down 20-15. So if they want to get back into this first set, they will need to score consecutively, something that they have not done a lot in the opener.
Obviously something they want to address. And when you look at the front row, they have a full front row, right? Talking about Navy,
Yeah.
De La Vega and Dolor. I mean, that's a strong lineup for you.
Reytaneo with a quick. Did not get all of it. Talking about Torres. And that back row hit is good for Mandal.
Well, he heard us. He heard me. I told you had to step up. And from the back, from the pipe, look at this. It's a beauty.
And now a timeout will be requested by the Army Katingko Troopers. Let's listen into the huddle of Sergeant Melvin Carolino.
Binato ng open, kung kaya magdalawa, yung isa atras. Ha? Yung ginagawa natin sa blocking. Yun lang. Apply lang natin yun. Isa tayo. Ha? Kuha natin to.
1 to 5 tayo, 1 to 5. Tapos tayo, ha? Tapos tayo.
Go.
Huwag na tayong paabol, puro side out tayo.
Pressure tayo, lamang tayo.
Let's go!
Go!
Sakto.
(20-16). 4-point lead for the Philippine Army Troopers as they want to forget all about that loss. Signal HD Spikers. They've actually lost 6 straight sets. As we said, they scored the opener against the Santa Elena NU Nationals.
Well, obviously, you know, there's a lot to be learned for their team. Oh, they're just happy he didn't get injured across the midline. But talking about Army, yes, you lost your first 2 games, but what's important is your next games is how you learn from those losses. Right?
Violation called against Navy.
Right, you're just happy that nothing happened to him. He didn't step on anyone.
As Barica, the serving specialist, former FU Tamarang.
Yeah.
So he really likes the
the green and yellow. Ooh, good serve. Oh, what a
dig,
dig.
though. Tremendous dig. Rojas goes for the cross-court kill.
Look at that. Look at his face. Boy, he meant business there, especially after that kill. Look at that.
Boy, what a dig coming from Viking.
Yeah.
It all started there.
You know, that's one thing we didn't see a lot in their first 2 matches, but we knew Viking can dig, right? But now he's really getting better.
And now a timeout on the other side for the Philippine Navy. Sila naman ang pakinggan natin with Coach Sisit.
Tapos yung coverage, tapos yung bola nila guys, puro haba na haba. Walang pumapatak na down the line. Short ball. Puro haba nila, puro haba. Kaya adjust yung mga tao na nag-receive sa likod. Adjust kayo. Tapos parang ang luwag-luwag yung tao sa likod. Bakit?
Palitin natin. Coach,
Palitin natin.
nagbigay lang kami kaya ng sa amin yan, sa amin.
Okay, sige. Palitin natin kasi para wala silang makitang space. Palitin natin na. Let's go.
Navy!
About to go down to the nitty-gritty of the first set, 22-16, a 6-point lead for the Army. As it has been this way throughout this set. After the good start, both teams exchange 1 or 2 points, but Army has managed to stay ahead and stay in command. Barrica, the specialist, serving again. This time a little too much as he sent it long.
Well, you know, Army, what they're doing right here is they're maintaining this lead. You know, they're creating those stops, the right stops, and they're looking good. They're looking to actually winning this first set.
Back set, joust. And it is picked up by the Navy. Just a smart hit coming from De La Vega. He saw that the blockers were a little off position maybe. Found the opening.
I think he even hit it to the face, if I'm not mistaken, of Torres. There you go.
Oo nga. As Diwa enters the matchup.
And that's an interesting substitution. After he gets hit on the face, it's like, Coach, are you making him sulk? Sit down and think about that.
Defensive Navy ready for that hit from Rojas. And this is an attacking error from the Navy. Back to a 5-point lead for the Troopers.
Well, you know, if you watch that match against Santa Elena, I mean, it's a far cry the way Navy's playing today. I mean, let's not look at the score. It's just, you know, the way we're observing their first set, it's far from how they played against Santa Elena.
A bit unsure, no, with their step.
Yeah,
lacking that usual confidence. As Daniel Diwa now serves for the Army.
Good stretch there.
And that hits the antenna. Leads to a point for the Navy. Hindi pa tapos to, ah. This is just a 4-point advantage. Who knows? You know, Navy might have reserved one last surge to try and steal this one from the Troopers in the first.
We've seen a lot of comebacks, you know, in the games that we've been covering. And even in today's game, the first game, you know, Signal was down set point, but they were able to get back.
Well, this is something that the Troopers did not do a single time against the Signal HD Spikers. They did not have, you know, scoring blocks, points off of blocks, but now it sends them to set point, 24-19.
Yeah, and all-important substitutions here.
So the veterans, Faliorina, De Pamailo for the Troopers in the matchup for the first time.
Yeah, good serve.
Hammer coming from Chao Mandal.
Great set. Obviously, blockers were slow to react, but they're still down 4 set points. Talking about Navy.
So the setter, this Trooper squad will be De Pamailo. Taneo has done a tremendous job.
Yeah, agree.
So let's see how they will look for that one last point to seal the first set. Good defense. Rojas scoring it as the Troopers will pick up the first against the PGJC Navy Sea Lions.
A great first set for the Army Troopers, and Rojas just, you know, actually he led this team. Maybe not the total points, but in attitude.
Yeah. You can really
paglalaro kasi parang buhay lang din eh. Dapat split seconds makapag-decide ka kung anong desisyon mo sa buhay mo.
Nakapagtapos ako ng pag-aaral, nakapasok ako sa army, na nakakatulong na ako sa pamilya ko, nabibili ko na kung anong gusto kong pagkain.
So ito yung program namin na ang Army is meron ding sports program na pwede nating maihatid na tulong sa mga malalayong nangangailangan din pagdating sa sports.
Sobrang mahal ko talaga ang volleyball eh. Sobrang mahal ko talaga, kahit pagpalit ko pa sa buhay ko. Yung parang ganon ko kamahal yung volleyball.
Mahal ko ang paglalaro ng volleyball dahil ito ang nagbigay sa akin ng oportunidad upang ako'y magkaroon ng trabaho, upang maka-inspire ako.
Volleyball is life. Nawawala yung stress ko. Feel ko batang-bata ako.
25-20 was the score in the first set. The Army Katingko Troopers emerging with a strong performance, and they established the early tempo, did not relinquish the lead.
Well, they obviously look like the more focused team today, learning from the losses that they encountered. Their first two games, they lost. But then they're showing us they learned from it. Better ball distribution, better digs, better defense. So they were able to maintain that lead, you know, and seize control of this set from the start. So they're looking good, so don't change what you're doing. You know, you're blocking well, you're attacking well. Now, for Navy, one thing that's important is you need to get your game. We've seen the way they play. You know, this is not their brand of volleyball. So you got to regroup, go back to basics, and try to at least make this 1-1.
But talking about the Navy, what do they need to take care of? Ano yung mga aspects ng nilaro nila na kailangan nilang pagtuunan ng pansin talaga heading to the second set?
Well, if you look at the numbers, one thing they have to minimize is their errors. You know, they had 9 errors compared to 4. Army playing a good set, just 4 errors. Attacks, they even led, blocking Army by 1. They have no service aces, so maybe you want to serve better here in the second set. But the more important thing, what they have to focus on really is their errors.
5-point difference in the set, 5-point difference in errors. That's the story of the first. De La Vega's down right now.
Yeah, I saw like someone cross the net. I don't want to look.
Yeah, we did not see it from that angle, but might be a sprain for De La Vega. Got entangled with Labide there as he's holding on to his ankle.
It looked like he was even shaking earlier. I hate looking at these slow-mos.
Yeah, but unfortunately we'll have to just see where exactly it happened. The forward motion coming from Labide and...
ouch. But it was in the midline, right? He didn't really go over the line, so it's not a violation. It just so happened that feet get entangled at the line. So we just wish him well, you know, talking about De La Vega. Hopefully it's just a minor sprain.
No, our medical staff will be attending to De La Vega, who is grimacing in pain right now, as hoping that he could bounce back quickly from this. Maybe we'll have to rally around him.
Well, that's a huge loss on the side of Navy. We know De La Vega is one of the main gunners of the team. Then you're right. You know, it's important to see how Navy will perform without him.
So every time that there is a collision in the center line, there's a nervous energy. Diba? Parang alam mong pwedeng may mangyari. And unfortunately, it did happen here in this matchup.
I totally agree, and really, I hate looking at those slow-mos. And you're right, we have to, but you know, you cringe, right? You cringe every time you see a sprained ankle or a knee buckling. Anyway.
psychologically, you know that this will affect Navy, Navy as well. Will it be positive energy? Will it be nervous energy? We'll find out
Yeah,
here in
we
the
will.
second set.
We will, but what we know about these men who work for the country, really, in uniform, they're a tough bunch. Everyone for that matter, so you're expecting more from them. Ooh.
Good reflexes from Taneo to keep that ball alive.
Agree.
That is out. The Army troopers not agreeing as they're still pointing to the spot where they thought the ball landed.
Well, from our vantage point, it looked like it was out off the blockers of Army, but they're still contesting.
As we've come to know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but what matters is the truth. What really happened? What really transpired?
No, what matters is referee's
With the
decision.
final say. Which is very close to being gospel truth for us here at Spiker's Turf. 3 apiece is the score to start. At least for Navy, hindi sila napag-iwanan agad. So yun yung naging problema in the first set.
And I like the way Taneo went across the net to whisper sweet nothings.
Torres with the serve there. Soft touch. Torres was kept alive, but the referee saying that Torres did not get to it. Good read from Mandal.
Yeah, it's smart. Off speed to the center. Look at that. The great effort, great hustle by Team Army. Good serve.
Good combination play. Abdul Majid scoring to level this matchup at 4 apiece.
You know, really the confidence of Army in today's game is different. I mean, from the past 2 games that they lost, already played, today they're just like a different team altogether. Ooh, great serve.
From the back row. Davide could not send it up. Lead shifts back to Navy.
You saw the reaction of their coach, and the bench is like, just a little bit more power in what you're doing.
Oh! A bit tentative there kung sino yung pupulot ng second ball. As it results to another point for the Navy.
You know, it really depends on who's near the ball at that play. Look at that. Abdullah should have gotten it, you know, and not just nonchalantly walk towards the net.
He was still expecting Taneo to find a way to pick it up.
Yeah.
Taneo goes to Rojas. Blocked.
Look at that bunch from Navy looking at Rojas. Remember the taunting in the first set. But now Navy's getting back at Rojas. Oh, look at that, look at that.
You know, as Joven De La Vega is currently elevating his ankle, it's being iced right now. Nilapitan siya ni Madam Mozi Ravena. Of course, we're a very small family here in Spiker's Turf, no? Para maging komportable, yung bag ni Ma'am Mozi, binigyan niyang unan para kay Joven just so he could be in a more comfortable situation as he tries to overcome, I'm sure, the pain na nandun dun sa sprained ankle niya right now. As the competition is fierce, but the men's volleyball community is very small and tight-knit.
Yeah, agree.
Meanwhile, that will lead us to our first technical timeout of the second set. PGJC Navy Sea Lions performing much better to open this second as they lead by 3. That was a nice quick for Peter Kiel. As it's 8-5 heading into this first technical timeout.
Joven stepped on the foot of an Army Katinko trooper under the net when they bumped into each other, so he slid down into a bad fall, causing his left ankle to have a severely painful sprain. Unfortunately, as he is currently shaking in pain and has his foot elevated, he will have to undergo treatment right away from their physical therapist and sit the rest of the sets out. The coaches and management are dismayed as well, given that Navy is depending on De La Vega as one of the main contributors for this game. But as said earlier, his recovery will be their main priority for now. Let's go back to set 2.
Thank you for that report, Alexis. As yung mga risk na ganyan, if he's not 100%, hindi mo naman isusugal di ba? Because the risk of aggravating that injury, making it worse, is not worth it.
It really depends on perspective, we have to say. I mean, that's a totally different discussion altogether. Some people will think it's worth it, but at this level of play, for me, the semi-pros, the pros, I think it's better to sit it out, really, because that's your career.
Kasi kung sumama lalo yan, baka humaba pa, baka hanggang semis, hindi siya maging available, di ba? If we play it safe now, as you know, the Navy, of course, believes that they will have enough people who are able to step up. That's how they built this team, no? Marami namang sandata yung pwedeng magtulong-tulong. And that is a point overreaching kontra sa Navy.
Well, they're looking good nonetheless. Talking about Navy here in the second set, they're leading it 10-7. Now the challenge for Army is how do you sustain that momentum you had, that level of energy you had in that first set.
Good serve coming from Taneo. But that quick has been a thorn on the side of the Army troopers. Hindi nila mabasa kung kailan, kung paano aatake itong si Peter Kiel.
I'm telling you. You know, what the people watching TV, what they don't see really is the story behind glares and little comments inside the court. There's something really brewing inside the court.
So Diwa, another middle blocker entering the matchup. Let's see how he plays as a factor. Not the strongest of hits, but a smart one coming from Labide.
Well, he has been successful, you know, just reading the defense of the opponents, dropping. He should go more to that.
11-8, 3-point lead for Navy as Labide serves.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you can't let Rojas get a stuffed block, a one-on-one, and he gets that off of you. You're not gonna hear the end. You're not gonna hear the end of it. Look at that.
May bonus pa eh.
He ain't done yet.
You love it. You have to love it.
No, but then he shook someone's hand at the net, so you know it's all for fun.
Iniwasan na yung blockers. Taneo, kanino pupunta? From the back row, Labide gets it through.
He's playing good. He's playing big. Talking about the captain, Benjailo Labide. That's a great set, right? The pipe gets it through the blockers.
Sergeant Labide heating up here in the second set. They're only down by 1.
They're back at it.
Another chance here. Opportunity to tie Rojas. Siya naman yung titignan ng masama. He was blocked and denied that time around.
But then you see, I mean, there will be taunting, especially against Ross. But you see the respect they have for him. It's not long.
Yeah.
Like there, a little bit, but that's it. That's it. Talikod na. But si Rojas really stays with the player.
Kuya, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
They go back to Rojas with a soft touch. No chance ball for Army. Majid was slowed down there. Another nice touch of speed for Mandal.
You know, that's a really smart tip because he used his hang time, he used his length. Look at this. He waited for the blockers to be descending, and that's when he hit it off or tapped it off the blockers.
Tigre Taneo was given a yellow card. He acknowledges it, raises his hand. So it's 13-10. That's back-to-back points for the Navy. Enough for a 3-point lead.
And again, players shaking hands at the net. Great serve.
Good play from Diwa. Maybe that's what Diwa needed. Maybe he needed Abdullah to start off, to see the action from their corner.
Well, that's another option that's proving to be good for Team Army.
Nandun na eh. Tama na dapat yung posisyon ni Labide, but he left it.
Well, this is where Jao Mandal wants to take charge. They're ahead by 3. Oh, good save.
Rojas making something out of nothing. Another chance here for Navy.
Oh,
that hit the light. And that is automatically out.
But you like the way Taneo just kept that ball alive, except for the fact it hit the lights. But he was just running forward, and then the ball just came, and he was able to hit that.
15-11, a 4-point advantage. Navy sinusubukan kumawala na. And that is hit under by Abdul Majid. That leads us to our second technical timeout. It is 16-11 in favor of the Navy Sea Lions, looking for a bounce-back performance and leveling this matchup 1 set apiece. Second, as we send it over quickly to our courtside reporter, Miss Alexis Tinsay.
Army Katinko trooper Patrick Rojas, who scored 9 points last game and has been contributing points and sass in today's game, is proud to share na sa una puro high ball yung play nila, pero ever since sa kalaro nila yung signal, nagfa-fast ball na din sila. Para sa Army, kailangan nilang i-upgrade ang level of playing field when it comes to ball handling and ball timing upang makipagsabayan at malamangan ang kalaban. More than that, if there is one thing they are banking on for today's game, ito yung tiwala nila sa isa't isa that each of them will deliver and play their roles. Truly, the confidence was evident in set 1. Let's see if they will bounce back this set 2.
Thank you for that report, Miss Alexis Tinsay. And at this stage, we will be seeing a familiar name joining the Army Troopers. This is the first time as Mads Gampong enters the matchup. His team down by 4 right now. Can he try and change the theme of the second set?
Well, we saw him during warm-ups. We were wondering why he wasn't playing, but maybe they were waiting for the right time.
Hello! Malamig pa itong si Mads Gampong. As he hits that one wide, he smiles it off. Welcome back to Spiker's turf. As he surely will, make up for that mistake at some point in the matchup.
But the anticipation leading to that hit, right? Everyone's like, oh, holding their breath.
He is given another opportunity, and he makes do out of it.
You did say it. You predicted it.
I said at some point.
You didn't say immediately.
Pero ganyan yung magagaling na setters talaga, no? You immediately try to give Gampong another shot at building his confidence back. That's a miss hit on the serve for Rojas.
Yeah, I mean, wasted opportunity there. You're hoping, I mean, for Army, at least you're hoping with the entry of Gampong, you know, obviously a renewed confidence, maybe some momentum, and then you serve it into the net.
5-point lead. Mandal serving. Sinoli naman with his own service error.
Yeah, they give it right back. So if you're Army, what you want to do really now is to serve tough and challenge the first pass of Navy. You're down 4.
Mandal, oh, great presence on the block for the Troopers.
Great read, really. See the way he stayed with it. Basically a one-on-one.
Yep. Kasi malayo yung pinanggalingan ni Diwa, no? Labide with a kill block.
That's already 2 stuff blocks for you. Oh, come on.
They need to clean that up. Rojas hugging his teammates. Sabi, ba't ikaw pa? Sumunod ka pa sa akin.
Yeah, exactly. 2 straight service errors for Army.
It's the wrong time to start committing mistakes like that. And Gampong getting something out of it.
That's how good he is. That set was so far from the net. Like people like to say it's an off-system kind of play, and still he gets the point for Army.
Three service errors. Heading into the tail end of the second set, Noreen, we were talking about how Army kept it clean in the first half that allowed them to actually win it.
Yep. That's obviously what is missing here in the second set. And that run with Gampong inside the court has ended. He gets subbed back. The reverse substitution.
A nice combination there as Labide gets a point back. Army trying to stay within striking distance, down by 3.
Yeah, that's just great setting by Taneo for you.
Service specialist, Barrica, entering the contest for Labide. Pero si Barrica may service error din kaninang first set, ha?
Yeah.
Pero kung porsyento na nga lang yung pag-uusapan, you have to go to your guy.
Yeah. But we always say, in any game, the women's, you know, it doesn't matter. When a serve specialist comes in and then serves it out, or it's like, it's kind of
oh
annoying.
My goodness!
Like that! On cue! It's annoying!
For the team, di ba? Parang, 4 late service errors for the Army Troopers.
Well, they're obviously shooting themselves in the foot. Their feet.
Oh, sinoli naman ni Marcelino. Imagine, that's 4 service errors. It's a 3-point set. If you win 50% of them, kung napasok mo man lang yung serve, di ba?
Yeah. Well, at least not 3 points, right? Better serve.
Yep, at least it's good. Block goes out. 1 more point for the Navy as they're 3 away from winning this second.
Well, service errors for Army. They have 6. Navy with 3.
Timeout requested by the Army Katinko Troopers. Let's listen in.
Sa receive, ha? Receive muna tayo ng maayos. Discard na maayos, setter. Ha? Ngayon, pag pinalo natin, coverage agad. Walang titigil hanggang hindi pa numinto, ha? Walang titigil, ha? Pagpalo, coverage. Pag namatay, hadel. Okay?
Go. Layo pa yan, ha? Kaya pa natin nakabulan, ha? Army!
Wait lang.
Walang, diretso na, ha?
Guys, kanina lumayo tayo dahil sa service natin. Wala silang receive. Ngayon, nag-error tayo sa
Pasok mo na lang
lang natin.
Army!
Ganun lang.
22-18, a 4-point advantage for the Philippine Navy. We did say this was going to be quite the matchup. So far, it's been delivering as the Navy is looking for the equalizer here in the second set.
Yep, these two teams have not disappointed us.
Rojas, one more chance. The block goes in. Parang hindi pa siya naka-recover dun sa unang palo no, when he was given the chance to hit it again. Decided to go off speed.
Look at the taunting.
Hindi umandal
Oh, great serves.
Rojas. Goes right back at them.
And I guess through time, he's earned the right to really emphasize on his taunting. Good serve.
So that's just unstoppable coming from Jao Mandal.
Yeah, what a time for him to really heat up, right?
One more timeout to be requested by the Army troopers. They're down by 5. Navy is at set point.
Kuhanin natin muna. 1 good receive, ha? Receive muna tayo. Okay?
Let's go.
Kuhanin muna yan. Pumawi kayo.
Kaya natin nabulin yan.
Malayo pa yan.
Kunin natin ito, wag lang ibigay. Let's go, Army!
Let's go.
Wag niyo ibibigay.
24-19, Navy just needing one more point to level this matchup at 1 set apiece. Again, we thank you for joining us on One Sports, One Sports Plus. Also airing on Signal Play, of course, and on Smart Giga Play. Carlo Pamentuan and Noreen go on the call. Coming to you from the Paco Arena, 5th day of competitions in your 2022 Open Conference of Spikers Turf.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to be leveled at 1 set apiece here.
With pancake, and it results to the set winner for the Philippine Navy. You know that this matchup will just get better as the sets move forward. Mandal, perfect guy to end this second set. A bounce back performance coming from the Philippine Navy. Block was there. Mandal
nakapagtapos ako sa FEO, nakapasok ako sa Philippine Navy. Yun na talaga yung pinaka-biggest na achievement ko talaga sa volleyball lang. Yung trabaho, yan, sa Philippine Navy. Doon, dahil sa volleyball, doon ako nagkasahod. Tsaka nakapasok sa Philippine Navy.
Dahil sa volleyball, napag-aaral nga ako. So, yun yung naging stepping stone ko para kung ano man yung naabot ko ngayon is galing talaga sa volleyball.
Siyempre, mag-champion ngayong Open Conference. Although na mahirap yung tatahakin namin, siyempre, number 1, nandun pa rin si God. Sa kabilog din yung bola, hindi natin alam yung kalalabasan ngayon. Naging part na ako ng national team training pool. So sa ngayon, manalo talaga sa nakadala yung PGJC Navy.
Nung college ako, hindi pa ako nag-champion. So gusto ko sa Pro League is makuha ako ng champion.
Numbers so far in this matchup, Army winning 25-20 in the first, and then Navy leveling 25-19 in the second. Carlo Pamintuan and Noreen Go coming to you from the Paco Arena here in Manila. It was tight at the start, but as compared to the first set, baliktad naman yung kwento. It was Navy in control for much of the second.
Well, it's actually interesting to mention that for Navy, De La Vega is out with an ankle sprain. And you actually did ask, would that affect them in a positive way or negative way? Obviously, for Navy, it actually affected them in a positive way because they came back in that second set. They played well, of course, led by Joshua Umandal. Casania played well. Actually, it was a total team effort. And the taunting continues, which is very entertaining for us and for you out there. And for Army, I think, well, actually, I was going to say, I think if they start Gampong, you know, it would make a whole lot of difference. But I'm looking right now at the starting six. They are starting Gampong, which could change the complexion of this game. Some numbers, attacks is even, just by one Navy, blocks one. But then you look at the opponent's errors. There's a lot more for Army in the second set. And obviously, Navy just took advantage of that.
The Navy had 9 errors in the first set, and then 4 in the second, and that was the story. Again, you noted it earlier that if they clean things up, they will be able to provide a better challenge against the Army Troopers, and now they also start well here in the third.
Well, so far, if you look, you're talking about the numbers, if we look at the numbers, the team that commits more unforced errors, or more errors in general, you know, it's the one that goes on to lose. Yeah, so obviously both teams want to check that.
Good quick, perfectly set up, coming from Taneo to Diwa. And yung nakikita rin natin na rin, no, whoever starts out well, parang hindi na mapigilan eh. It has just needed one big run, like one 4-0, 5-0 spurt to establish distance for the eventual set winner, and ito yung kailangan talagang ayusin ng Army Troopers, their service.
I mean, towards the end of that set, remember how many service errors Army had, you know, and there's no turning back from that.
Good adjustment coming from Taneo.
Oh, what a save.
Chance ball though. Net touch whistled against Navy.
Yeah, wasted opportunity. Great save actually on the part of Joshua Mandal.
Maybe in a bit we can get a shot at Joven De La Vega, who I think is looking better at this point. Kanina he was grimacing in pain, nakahiga pa, trying to elevate his ankle, but now nakaupo na siya at the very least, no? So we're hoping that there's no structural damage. That the sprain is just a sprain.
Now, na-accept na niya na na-sprain siya. Because if you're playing and you know you're one of the gunners of a team, then you go down with something, that's psychological torture.
Yeah, it affects you, you know? You started looking forward to the next games. How much time will I miss?
Ooh, that was close. That was close.
Called out. So, magkabilang service errors from both squads.
So it's a tight third set, and what you said, who's going to come up with that spurt, right?
Just a small spurt.
Just a small one.
Oh, good attack from the middle. That was solid coming from Intig.
Yeah, making up obviously for that earlier infraction, that net violation.
So si Coach Cecil naghahanap na, no, ng iba't ibang kombinasyon. Of course, when you lose a player like Joven De La Vega, hindi naman kayang palitan ng isang player lang yung mawawala mo sa kanya.
Right.
Here we go, Mads Gampong, the former NU player. wanting to make his presence felt a little harder here in the third set. Did not play in the first, had limited opportunities in the second. That's 3 service errors. And the score is just 5-4.
That has been their weakness, really, talking about Team Army here, you know, at very important times of the set, like this one. It's close, and you did mention who's gonna, you know, come out with a string of points normally will end up winning. So these service errors are not gonna help your cause.
Sino ang atake for the Navy? Umandal will score again as he extends their advantage to 2.
That's a start. That's a start. 2 straight points for Navy. It could be. Could be.
Good serve coming from Entig. Taneo will go to Labide. And this is a name we haven't heard in a while. Parang hindi siya masyadong napupuntahan ng atake ng Army Troopers.
I mean, he was very active in the first set, you're right. In the second set, not too much, right? But, you know, that has been their problem as well, how to sustain a certain level of play, talking about Army. So they're hoping with Gampong as part of the lineup, they can address that.
Good recovery on defense from the Troopers as Labide. Not able to score from the back now. Taneo sends it to the other side. Was not able to score. At ayun yung resulta. Umandal towering over everyone.
Are you kidding me? You know, he's such a killjoy, talking about Umandal. It was such a nice rally, you know, everybody contributed, and just Umandal just ends it right there.
Not here for a good time. It'll si Umandal.
Right, I mean, this is when the fans were enjoying, oh, what a good rally. Umandal just goes, okay, I'm gonna end it.
Kasi rare, no? Yung mahabang rally sa Spiker's turf. You usually see mga patay na bola agad-agad. As one more point will be scored here by the Troopers. Both teams getting their own fair share of points.
Well, you did mention he was a bit silent about Labide, but right now he's making his presence felt.
I thought that might have been another service error. But Taneo instead picks up an ace.
It looked like it was going out.
Seven all, final point before we head on to our first technical timeout.
Short serve.
He picks it up, Taneo, by King. Goes to Mads Gampong, but he was sent up by Mandal. Check ball, will score for Navy, and they will lead by 1. Heading into our first technical timeout of the third set, it is 8-7 in favor of the Sea Lions.
At pangalawang set pero napakawalan pa namin. At ika ni Roniel dito sa laro namin against Army, lalabas na yung animal instinct namin kung saan hindi na kami papayag na magkaroon pa ng 5th set. Sa kanilang huddle, pinag-usapan nilang kunin ng endgame in 4 sets. Dahil lapas sa kanila na ang momentum, di na raw nila papakawalan nito. Let's go back to set 3.
Thank you for that report, Miss Alexis Tinsay, as that drop won't score, won't go over for Labide. We were talking about how the first 2 sets were swung by 1 4-0, 1 5-0 run. Now it's starting to look good for Navy, scoring back-to-back points.
Yeah, those runs made all the difference, obviously, for those sets. Ooh. Oh, what a dig.
They go to Labide. But he was slowed down by the blockers. Kasanya, kanino pupunta? And that hit finds the line.
Yeah, that clipped the line. But what about Jack Kalingking? Great digs. Well, if you look at the attack percentages, 55% efficiency rate for Navy and 46 for Army.
Not a great first ball there.
Ooh, another good dig.
Viking will set it up. Labide, papalo na naman. That's wide.
You gotta credit half that point to Kalingking for great defense.
4-0 run in favor of Navy as they build a four-point lead right now, 11-7. That's a touch on the net against Peter Kiel. A little too aggressive in trying to go for that block as Army pulls one back.
But can you believe it? Even that, I mean, had there not been a net violation, Kalingking had a hand
Would have
in that.
picked it up, yep. Not a pretty first ball for the Navy, kaya magkakaroon ng pagkakataon. Abdul Majid blocked.
I think that was Kiel denying. Yeah.
That time around, masyadong obvious saan pupunta yung atake, no? Kaya nabantayan ng blockers.
I mean, they barely had to move.
Mads Gampong sent back. The blockers are there for the Navy.
It's Omar Liok.
The denial coming from Liok as Kalingking from the side is actually asking the Army to call a timeout at this point. Part of the gamesmanship, the mind games between these two teams. That's not over for Mandal. Sabi ni Peter Giel, sayang naman. Sayang naman yung pinulot kong bola.
And you know, if we're basing it on the trend of the first and second set, Navy's looking good. They have a comfortable 4-point lead. And yes, Navy is poised to get this set, but not for Army. You can still do something about it.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's still alive.
Yeah.
That ball was hit with concussive force.
Oh.
Castaneo digs it up. Gampong. Sent up by Mandal. Chance ball for Army. Gampong ulit. Soft touch to the back of Mandal. Picks it up one more time.
Ooh. What a rally.
Yep. Perhaps the best of the entire matchup.
Yeah, obviously a check ball there. But you know, Navy is doing a great job in checking Gampong here in the third set.
That's off.
Way off.
You could see it from a mile away. Army pulling one back. The veterans checking in. De Pamailo, Fagliorina. Papasok para kila Taneo. Abdul Majid for the Army.
Interesting substitution. Obviously, Coach Carolina has confidence in his veterans. Great serve. I was just about to take a sip of water. The water didn't enter it entered the wrong pipe after that hit. Look at
My
that.
goodness. And when he gets going, he's one of the best in the land, Jao Mandal.
And he really just got better in time. You know, the years that because of the pandemic, we didn't see a lot of men's volleyball. Then we heard he played in Bahrain.
Yep.
So when I saw him again here in the spiker serve, I was so impressed. The way he increased his jump and his hits.
Mandal with a reception error there. There's also an ace for the Army. Si Marquez Peo din daw, He's heading to Bahrain, I heard. During your coverage in the first game.
And Korea. He's going to attend the camp in Korea.
So tina-target talaga ng mga service yung Mandal. Trying to get him out of position to attack. The Pamailo goes to Pagliorina. And... so timeout. Di nahihintayin ng Navy ang ating second technical timeout. They want to talk things through right now. Let's listen in.
Guys, error natin yung nag-score sa kanila, guys. Kaya pagbalik natin, avoid tayo error, guys. So please, mag-score tayo, ha? Ha? Tara, guys,
Hindi mo na relaxan, boss. Tingnan nyo yung score, lapit lang. Tuloy-tuloy lang nila.
Guys, lumayo pa kayo, guys, Lumayo pa kayo.
Spacing sa receive, spacing sa receive.
Jay, laruin mo pa.
Sa pasa. Hey, Navy!
15-13. This is just a slim 2-point advantage for the Philippine Navy. Could definitely swing to Army's favor if they could. First, string up some points. Second, avoid service errors at all costs.
Yes.
Safe serve coming from Mads Gampong.
Ooh.
Abdullah sends it over. Lumandal. That has been his favorite point of attack. Paboritong angulo in this matchup.
That's been his bread and butter.
And as a result, it will be a 3.
Coach Cecil Cruzada gave them 3 points. First is the lesson errors, huwag ibalik ang 3 points na ibinigay ng Army. Second is to improve blockings. And third is to deepen their chemistry in the court by communicating loud the adjustments they have to do in-game. As time is a factor here, given that the guest applicants and civilians are working their way to get to know the Navy system, it is in their utmost effort to be open to each other inside. And in the long run, Coach Cecil is sure that they will be able to gel as the days and games progress. Let's go back to the volleyball action. This set 3.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Alexis Insai, as both teams exchange points right now. 17-14, still a 3-point lead for the Navy. Similar story with our second set. A mini run, 4-0. Enough to establish a slim lead for the Navy. And they are not willing to relinquish the advantage. Tremendous serve coming from Jao Mandal.
Yeah, that's huge, crucial serve, because you can sense that the Army is knocking at the door, on the door of Navy ever so loudly. Then the service error, service ace.
You said earlier nung first set, nung pinapanood natin tong Army, the difference in the squad that showed up against Signal, it's night and day.
Yeah.
But you could say the same from their first set to how they're playing right now. A little bit tense, a little bit unsure of their step here in the third set.
And you're talking about Army, right?
Yeah.
And you know what's really weird is Mads Gampong is already part of the lineup. We know what he adds to the squad. So maybe unfamiliarity right, on the side of Army, because we know that all these teams didn't have ample time to really prepare for this tournament.
Mandal so far with already tremendous numbers, Noreen.
Yeah, 18 points already in 16 attacks, and you know how his efficiency rate is actually 70%. But we got to mention Labide, 65% efficiency rate, so that's pretty good too.
Switch back on the substitutions. Nepomalo and Faliorina exiting. Abdul Majid and Taneo coming back for the Army Troopers.
So that was a pretty long stint for them, for those veterans.
Great read. Kitang-kita kung saan yung butas ng depensa. Taneo still tried to dive for it. He would not get to it in time.
Yeah, that's Christian Marcelino. Look at that, just reading the defense so well.
5-point advantage now for the Navy. Ooh, they give it up with a service error coming from Casanya.
Although they have a lead, you still don't want to see those service errors. Chance.
Yep.
Chance for Joshua
To redeem yourself. He's had 3 serves here in this entire match. 2 of them were errors.
Better serve.
Block is out from Mads Gampong. Back to a 5-point Navy advantage. Si Joven De La Vega nakakangiti-ngiti na ng konti, no? Able to joke around with his teammates already, of course.
Nice na yan eh.
And it shouldn't be comfortable. It can't be comfortable after that twist.
For sure, we saw the slow-mo. Oh,
Hammer coming from Mats Gampong.
Goodness.
You wonder why NU is so dominant in volleyball competition. They've been a factory of tremendous players for the longest time now.
Such a cool cat. After that, he just slowly walked to the center of the court. Ooh, good dig.
Gampong. Ooh. Still wanted to somehow, attack from that tough second ball.
I think the initial thought was to attack the ball. Then he realized, okay, it's getting farther and farther out of my reach. And then when he decided to drop it, it was too late.
Changed his mind midair.
Right?
Good first ball here, a chance to score as Gampong makes sure that he gets this one.
Well, the first referee called the ball has hit the floor before he went into the net. Chances are it's true because that's how fast his balls are.
Abdul Majid serving.
Oh, great serve.
Umandalo does not want them to get any closer. Back to a 5-point lead, forcing this time out from the Army Troopers. Still pouring in the points. Umandal scoring again. Pakinggan natin yung huddle ng Troopers.
Bitin. So, adjust tayo dito. Bitin eh. Ha? Dito tayo kukuha. Ngayon, kukuha lang tayo dito. Dito tayo. Cover tayo dito. Isang step ha. Isang step tayo dito. Ito yung strongest side niya. Okay. Kuha tayo dito. Dito natin kuha yung block. Para mo cross court, tap from court.
Targetin niyo si Jao.
Tayo.
One goal to receive. Army!
Go!
Targetin.
Joshua Mandal with 19 points, 17 off attacks, blocking an ace, and you can hear it from the side of the Army. Targetin nyo si Jao. Pahirapan nyo man lang, di ba? Lahat ng serve, bigay nyo sa kanya. Let him deal with those. to at least make it a little more difficult for him to attack because it has looked comfortable. That won't go in. As Barica tried to put in the effort to make up for his reception error. But it is now set point for the Philippine Navy. Up 24 to 18.
Wala pang nananalo. Laban natin to. Diba? Bigyan yung yabang. Sige. Nasaan na yung yabang?
Akin yan.
Wala pang nananalo. Go tayo. Laban tayo, ha? Walang bibitaw. Easy serve. Ha?
Mapatalo kayo.
Go lang.
Laban na yan.
Arme!
Katigo!
You could hear PJ Rojas trying to inject some, yabang, some confidence dun sa kanyang koponan. Because that's what they lost. They lost their mojo from the first set.
Totally agree. That's why it's a 6-point game right now. So what? We're expecting Rojas to play in the 4th set.
Looks like a yellow card will be issued against
the libero.
The libero.
Well, the referees are being very strict here.
Here we go, set point. Omar Liok trying to win this for the Navy. Mads Campong gathering, gets it through.
I see the way he soared for that. It's like he's still in college. Take a look at this. Look at that.
Yung tupi ng legs,
Yeah.
yung bali ng katawan pagkatapos ng atake. Yes, he will now be serving his team down by 5. From the back row, that's off for Marcelino.
Yeah, they obviously mistimed that and buries that into the net. Still, 4 set points for Navy Sea Lions.
24-20 is the count. Campong with another good serve. Mandawa set back. Abdullah and Taneo. As a timeout will be requested by the Philippine Navy. All of a sudden, the Army rediscovering their old form. Let's listen into the huddle.
No pressure, please. Isa na lang. Kasi ba natin maganda yung sa likod? Kasi ba natin maganda? Bigyan natin maganda para isang patay na lang, ha?
Tara, pre. Basta pa yung chance mo lang. Tara. Last one na, oh. Ready lang. Navy! Yeah! Baka tayo sa receive para
Navy just needing one more point to get a 2-1 advantage against the Army. But the Trooper is fighting back. Last-ditch effort here in the 3rd set as Campong continues to serve.
Well, you like that block by Army. Obviously, they read. Well, there's nothing for them to read that, but they read the first one and now they couldn't read that.
The exclamation point coming from Jao Mandal. 20 points in the ball game already. Let's see it one more time. You go to your main man to finish things off here in the 3rd set. It's 2-1 in favor of the Philippine Navy.
paglalaro kasi parang buhay lang din eh. Dapat split seconds makapag-decide ka kung anong desisyon mo sa buhay mo.
Nakapagtapos ako ng pag-aaral, nakapasok ako sa Army, na nakakatulong na ako sa pamilya ko, nabibili ko na kung anong gusto kong pagkain.
So ito yung program namin na ang Army is meron ding sports program na pwede nating maihatid na tulong sa mga malalayong nangangailangan din pagdating sa sports.
Sobrang mahal ko talaga ang volleyball eh. Sobrang mahal ko talaga, kahit pagpalit ko pa sa buhay ko. Yung parang ganon ko kamahal yung volleyball.
Mahal ko ang paglalaro ng volleyball dahil ito ang nagbigay sa akin ng oportunidad upang ako'y magkaroon ng trabaho, upang maka-inspire ako.
Volleyball is life. Nawawala yung stress ko. Feel ko batang-bata ako.
Well, we appreciate you joining us here in the 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference, a match between Navy and Army.
Check out the highlights of our third set. Mads Gampong entered the matchup in the second. Tried to inject some life dun sa atake ng Army, but as we noted, a 4-0 or a 5-0 mini spurt has been enough to win the sets here in this entire matchup. The first for Army, the next two for the Navy.
Well, I think that's a great observation because it's so far that's what's been happening. So for both teams, you don't want that to happen
here in the fourth. Yeah,
I mean, all important set. We did mention that it's a short tournament and only 4 teams will go to the next round. So very important for these two teams to get that win today. And if that is the reason for your win, then you want to get that.
As we check out the numbers, as you can see, yung errors tumatambak pa rin, 7 compared to 5 against Army. But the attacks in favor of Navy this time 14-10 as they ended up winning the third set 25-21. Fourth set coming your way from the Paco Arena here in Manila. Carlo Pamintuan with Noreen go on the call as the Sea Lions are hoping to end this right here, right now. But of course, expect a big bounce back attempt from the Troopers looking for their first win of the entire tournament.
Yeah, that's off the blockers. But let's look at some numbers here. For Navy, Umandal with 20 big points. I mean, he's the only one for Navy actually in double digits. Gil with 7, Marcelino with 8. For Army, Labide with 12, Ross with 8, Gampong with 8. So, you know, Gampong, he just played later on, but still.
Ganun na agad no, yung numero. So,
yeah.
Surely he will play a bigger factor in the upcoming games. Again, this is his first match with the Army Troopers. Taneo sets it up quick. Bantayan mula kay Torres.
Oh, good thing. When you watch this match, you can't help but love Rojas, really. Right?
Ano siya, no? He's a great teammate to have.
Yeah. He's so endearing.
They will go back to Gampong. Denied by Rosales.
Obviously, the defense will clamp down on Mads Gampong. Great read. So, Carlo, to 3-1. That doesn't count yet, no? It's just a 2-point surge, right?
Yeah, not just yet.
Not just yet.
Gampong will try again. And that was touched by the blocks.
And then Mads Gampong would realize that, okay, I can just hit it off the blockers. It's not just power.
I think the challenge for Sergeant Melvin Carolino right now is to try and find the combination that will work. No, in terms of personnel, he has more than enough to challenge itong Sea Lions. But in terms of the people who will work well alongside each other in chemistry, in gameplay, maybe that's a bit too much to ask when you get a player like Gampong, a dominant player, and then you immediately want him to be in the same page as the rest of the team.
Well, based on today's game. Okay, he can score. We know that he can score, but again, something's lacking in terms of the gelling. You know, you mentioned it, the chemistry, and it's just gonna improve in time. After this game, then the next game, then the next game.
Yung problema nga lang, it's a short tournament.
Yeah.
So the next game and the next game, you'll be basically competing for a spot in the semifinals. Diba, kailangan manalo na talaga as Rojas had to get extra creative with the left hand there. Torres sent it across, unfortunately. Pero may pagkakataon pa dito ang Troopers. Gampong just swinging it to the other side. And Umandal has been close. Unstoppable in this match.
Yeah, 21 points already. Right? He didn't used to jump that high, remember? When I saw him in this this Spikers turf, this conference, I was like, he's so much better.
He's different.
Yeah.
Good defense from the Navy.
Oh, good save.
Kanta naman ng dive coming from Rojas. But another chance here. They were trying to get creative. A lift was called against Umandal.
You know, I like seeing that because I remember in the VNL we saw a lot of that. The attackers will look like they're going to attack. Then they set it. By the time they set it, the blockers are already in the air. So that's going to be something to look out for in the men's game.
Pero sabi nung referee natin, kailangan pa ng konting practice, ha? Konting practice pa. The running attack is money for Rosales.
Yeah, that was pretty. That slide there. Look at that. The blockers just didn't know what hit them. Am I gonna jump? Am I gonna block?
Kita mo, dalawang beses sumubok tumalon itong si Rojas. Couldn't time it perfectly. Over reception. Oh! Another error. This time from Labide as it's 7-4 in favor of the Navy.
Yeah, for Army, you want one stop immediately at all cost.
Yun yung mga napakasakit na errors. Hindi ka na nga aatake.
That's another one.
Well, we've been talking about these 4-point leads, and that is exactly where we land heading into the first technical timeout of the fourth set. It's 8-4 in
is expecting his men to come back with a great performance for this fourth set. Ika ni Coach Melvin, pag nilalabas ninyo yabang nyo, bigyan nyo ako ng pagyayabangan. Meaning they should put into action the skills and abilities they are proud of. More than that, Sir Randy Faliorina, a senior trooper, advised that they come in triple blockings to prevent Umandal from seeping through. More than that, they have to be proactive with their floor defense, awakening them to be extra alert during these crucial moments. Let's find out this set 4 of the Troopers can push for a fifth set. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that report, Miss Alexis Tinsay, as that is a good response coming off the first technical timeout. Position na lang no? It was just unfortunate. Umandal had the right idea. It was within reaching distance, pero nakaharang sa kanya, unfortunately, si Peter Kiel.
Oh, good serve.
Finding that opening, that corner, as this lead stays at 4 for the Philippine Navy.
Well, he is piling Up the points, talking about Jao Mandal. Making it look easy going down the line. So, you know, if what you said was correct, then the Navy fans really love you right now, Carlo.
Well, so far it's been looking well for them as they've doubled up on the Philippine Army 10-5.
Yeah, the fans now love you.
Of the Army, not so much.
Not Army's fans, obviously they hate you. But at least you have a side that loves you.
Itong si Ray
50-50.
Taneo, Noreen, he's trying his best to keep their hopes up, no? The energy alive. Kasi pag bumagsak yung balikat mo, you've basically lost this matchup already.
That's true. It's like they say, you've lost and the battle hasn't begun.
Yep.
Oh well, they'll take that error. Talk about Army here. Well, they need something special, really. You're down by 4. Yes, if we follow the trend, you are poised to lose this, but not if you do something about it.
Kailangan pa
Good
nilang
save.
hanapan ng paraan na mailaban na they're down by 4. Chance ball though for the Navy. Labide gathers. Napayungan. But this rally will continue.
Still alive. Ooh.
Taneo, kanino pupunta? He goes to the back set. Gampong sent up. Umandal from the back. Longest rally of the matchup so far. Tutuloy pa rin siya. Kasanya. Mula sa likod, Umandal. Not over.
Well, the first set to the pipe, I found it low.
Yeah.
But Umandal was able to get it through. But this one was low. Again, look at this. It was so low. And you know Umandal's going to go for it. And he hits that into the net.
(10-7). Oh, but the Army defense had to work for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great rally.
Good serve. And that is off the blockers. As Marcelino extends their lead back up to 4.
Well, he's been playing well.
Yeah.
Talking about Marcelino.
Is this deja vu all over again for the Army troopers as compared to their first game of the season against Santa Elena NU? They looked so good in the first set. They would lose the next 3.
You know, I think one important decision has to be made for Army is how often would you like to go to Mats Gampong? I mean, you know he's fit. He's a go-to player. How often will you go to him here, the crucial set?
And now the Philippine Army will call a timeout. Pakinggan natin sila.
Ngayon, nagmamadali tayo. Service, easy ball. Pwedeng mag-outside yun eh. Kinukuha mo, tumalong ka eh. Ha? So, dahan-dahan lang. Dahan-dahan lang. Huwag natin madaliin yung first ball. First ball muna tayo. 1 good receive muna. 1 good receive. Huwag magmamadali. Ha? Huwag magmamadali. Gandaan muna natin receive ha. Bago tayo pumalo. Pagpalo, coverage. Okay?
Laban,
Go tayo, go tayo.
laban. Saset pa yan. Ane!
Katingko.
Laban.
13-7 as Philippine Navy hoping to establish more distance between them and the Army. This is now the biggest lead of this fourth set at 6 points, 13-7. That certainly will help the cause for the troopers at least get a free point from that service error.
Yeah, and if you look at the rotation right now of Army, maybe you can come up with some combination plays. You know, Mads Gampong is there. You know he gets blocked, but then... Oh, well.
But everyone just
Oh, well.
more engaged coming from the Navy. You know, without De La Vega there, parang nabuksan pa nga yung pagkakataon for the other players to step up. And now, Army's defense, kanina hinihintay lang Kiel, De La Vega, and Umandal. Now, you know, more people are getting involved in their offense as Gampong was denied at the net.
Yeah, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying that sometimes a team, when they see a comrade fall, you know, step up together and perform even better.
I know.
Of course, we're hoping that Joven de la Vega recovers well from
For sure.
that sprain.
Still young. You just gotta ice it from now till Saturday.
At saka nakakabawa sa sakit pag panalo. Diba? Hindi mahapdi yan. Hindi mas mahapdi yan. Pag uuwi ka mamaya as compared to suffering a loss and the sprained ankle.
Exactly. Double jeopardy.
Bukas na naman yung depensa sa gitna. You know, Army is putting in the effort. Look at them diving, but that gap in the defense just too wide for even that dive from Taneo, and by King to overcome. Second technical timeout of the fourth set. It's a 7-point Navy lead. And then the Sea Lions, Santa Rosa City Lions, following them with the Army and Ateneo Fujibar still looking for their first win.
He ain't done yet. Talking about Rojas.
Pati yung mga tinatrash talk ni Rojas, parang natutuwa pa sa kanya. Parang okay.
Oo nga eh.
Tawa na lang sila rin eh. But that's what you need. You need some gusto, some fight, some spunk coming from the troopers to try and turn things around here in the fourth set.
If not only for that, you know, these winning these psycho wars, it's already a small victory for you.
And the referee is not done talking to Benjailo Lavide.
Come on, ref, make him play.
Itong si Sergeant Benjailo Lavide, kakausapin, si Private First Class, PJ Rojas. Try to tell him to calm down a little bit as he receives a yellow card.
We always say that. Come on, ref, make him play. Make him have fun there.
Torres has been largely quiet here in this matchup. Mandal with the soft touch. Chance ball for Navy. Back to Mandal.
Well, you know he's going to take over here. He wants to end this quick and end this in 4. Know how he changes the angles?
Yeah.
He can go deep cross-court. He can go to the back. I mean, he's so versatile.
Depende kung ano yung bibigay ng depensa sa kanya. No? Really good at reading.
Yeah.
Of course, it helps when you can elevate that way, when you have extra time to decide.
That's true.
As Abdullah pulls one back. Good connection with Ray Taneo. But this is still a 6-point lead for the Navy. Calorina re-entering. But instead of De Pamailo, it is Silang who'll get another chance to play here.
Well, this is maybe the final push of Army.
Good presence on the blockers. They go to the other side. Someone does this. You were saying something?
With a smile, with a grin. It's still there. He's still at it. Look at him. He's still at it.
Naka-block kasi kanina. Tapos, receive naman.
Look at that. Look at that.
We go right back to Mandal again, reading the defense, knowing exactly where to go.
Yeah, he's just putting it at the heart, at the center of Army's defense. Defense crumbling right now for Army.
19-11, forcing this time out from the Philippine Army Katingko Troopers.
Tayo. Ang lulungkot natin. Kaya pa yan, hindi pa natatapos yung laro. Ha? Laban tayo. Ha?
Angat!
Ate!
Katingko! Angat lang!
An 8-point lead, 19-11. We have not seen a comeback yet in this entire ball game. Kung sino yung lumamang ng 4, 5, sila na yung nananalo nung set.
Yeah, but, you know, again, you're facing an 8-point deficit. That's the way to go. You know, that attitude, just keep fighting.
Yung veterano na si Faliorina, siya na yung nagpapatigil sa mga teammates niya. Parang focus on the task at hand. Marami-rami pa yung kailangan nating habulin.
Good serve.
Just taking over.
Look at Peter Kiel. He's signaling. Oh yeah, now he's being summoned by the judge.
Personal na kasi yung kay Peter Kiel eh.
He was looking at Rojas and then showing a defend. Come on, defend.
Nagkakatuwaan lang po ang ating magkabilang koponan. Navy versus Army, as usual, as expected. We've seen this time and again.
But you know, for us covering the game, it's adding spice to the game. We're enjoying it so much because of all these sub-stories.
Service error from Jao Mandal. You could forgive that if you're Coach Cecil, as Mandal has been the biggest weapon on the side of the Sea Lions in this entire matchup.
20-something points. Oh, good serve.
Nice defense from the Army. Faliorina sending it across. Labide is off touch. Nabantayan. Kiel scoring with a block.
Yeah, coverage obviously wasn't there for Army. You know, these off the blocks, these drops by Navy, these are the ones that has been really killing this Army troopers. Ooh, what a dig.
Cross court, that is out. So Army will pull one back. Still down by 7 at this stage, 21-14. Babalik sila Taneo at Gampong. Faliorina subbed out.
Okay, you need to follow protocols and substitution. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Ray Taneo is coming from a volleyball playing family. Kapatid ni Raylan. We've seen their battles, yung magkapatid. Also a setter.
Oof.
EJ Rojas was there, but that attack just too hot to handle for the defense of the Troopers.
You know what's funny? I'm just watching this Navy team. Everyone's getting in the taunting action, and it's all against Rojas. Yeah.
Great attack from Torres. Meron naman eh, di ba?
Yeah.
May ganda ng laro, may gameplay, may personnel itong Army Troopers. There were just, you know, a couple of stretches here and there where they can't get anything going. And of course, you go back to those service errors in the second set that really made it difficult for them to win it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, they have the material, but I think it's really the sustainability, which is, again, they will learn in time. So we're looking at the next conference. He ain't done yet.
Rojas getting a point. His points have been the loudest in this entire matchup.
Well, not much taunting. He already has a yellow card, so just a stare down.
Tinginan lang naman eh.
Yeah.
Hindi naman bawal eh.
I think this is the most number of yellow cards I've
Seen na
witnessed in a match.
Another good serve for Barrica. Siya rin yung dedepensa dito. Taneo goes cross court. Rojas. Sent up by Mandal. From the back row, a rocket from Jao.
I think there's a hole on the floor, the side of our...
May uka.
Yeah, it was that strong.
Now 2 points away from sealing the deal here in this matchup, 23-16.
Great serve.
So si Torres getting his touches and delivering here in the fourth set.
Well, you know, if you're Army, if indeed you go down here, just don't go down without a fight, right?
Palag lang.
Yeah, make Navy earn the last 2 points. Great serve.
Running attack. Net touch.
It was on Rojas, and he knew. He didn't look at the ref, nor did he look at Navy.
Serving for the match now. Navy 24, Army 17. Omar Liok trying to go for the win. Troopers trying to stay positive to stay in this matchup.
What are they? What's the discussion now? I was looking at Viking talking to someone.
That is it. Comandal has been the man of this matchup. He puts this to sleep as the Philippine Navy Sea Lions score a bounce-back win at the expense of the Philippine Army Troopers.
Yeah, it's a beautiful game. Obviously, a spectacular game by Navy. Bouncing back from that loss, and that's what you want to see. And of course, we talked about who stepped up
Standing day of men's volleyball action coming your way this Saturday, and that will do it for your crew. For Miss Alexis Tinsay taking care of business from the court side, for Miss Noreen Go, I am Carlo Pamintuan. This has been your 2022 Open Conference of Spikers Turf.